your show now.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
With your hands lifted up. With your hands lifted up, say it like this. Take the limits off. Take the limits off. Take the limits off. Release me. Release me. Oh, take the limits off. Take the limits off. Take the limits off. Release me. Oh, release me. Oh, take the limits off. Take the limits off.
What's up, Chicago? Yes, sir. Guess what? I thought I was gone, but I'm back. Yes, sir. It's Honest Radio Show. The Land. Taking the Limits Off Radio is on. That's right. We are here broadcasting, as always, from the historic Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church, the birthplace of gospel music. And as always, it's your boy, your host, the one, the only Dr. Dana L. King, in the studio with you today. Look, I know y'all might be surprised because I talked to y'all last week, Friday, and told y'all I was taking off the rest of the month, but I forgot that I had scheduled. After today, we're going to be gone for a little minute. Amen. So that's what we on today. Excited because I have some folks in the studio. I am not by myself at all. Normally it's just me and the other half over there, but tonight we got company. So I'm gonna be on my best behavior a little bit, huh? What's the problem? That might be a problem somewhere over here, but I don't know why you're not getting it, but we're gonna figure that out in a minute. Still nothing? Are you plugged into the right jack and all that? But we're gonna get it figured out. You let me know when you got it together over there, and then we'll be all right over here, because I ain't pulled nothing out. I ain't touched nothing. I ain't do nothing. I promise I didn't. Huh? Oh, you good now? Oh, you don't hear me, but it's getting. I just heard her coming through somebody's phone. So yeah, we good. Yeah, you just need to fix it's probably your headphones, headset, something ain't right. But anyway, we are here. So sorry, y'all. We are here, and I'm excited to be here. She called herself my twin. My twin is here. Y'all see her sitting next to me already, for those of you. But it is the TTLO radio show. And I'm joined tonight, co-hosting with me tonight is the one, the only, she is Pastor Angela L. Johnson, but tonight she is in her author status. She's working in her author title tonight. And so folk in the back. Yeah. She done authored some book stuff, y'all.
Come on here.
Yeah, so she is here with us today to discuss this book, Gone Girl, 31-Day Mask Up Devotional. That's right. That's it right there. The Gone Girl, 31-day mask Up Devotional. She is here, and some of the other authors are here as well.
Yes.
Everybody here, look at them. Now they all smiling, lit up over there. They, I see y'all looking at me. That's fine, because y'all might not want to look all in it. But if you decide to look at the camera, it's right there. But you're all good. If you don't want to look in the camera, it's all good. You're not on. She only gonna put you on when you start talking, so you're good. You can. This is your time to powder yourself up if you need to do some adjustments. But you're good. Oh, see, now you're on. See, now you got your own. Okay. All right. Anyway, y'all, I'm excited about tonight. But look, let me give you the rundown real quick on how you can be a part of the show. If you're already listening online, all you have to do is push 1. That'll get you to my producer, the best producer in the land, the one, the only, Latanya Michelle King, taking all of your calls, chats, text, emails, requests. I do bar mitzvahs, funerals, burials, whatever you want me to come out and do, I'll do that for you. And I promise you won't be at the funeral no more than about 25, 35 minutes. That's the funeral and the burial all at the same time. We ain't got no whole other stuff to talk about. So anyway, I'm just kidding, because folk, they looking at me like, what did he just say? But yeah, anyway, but you push 1 that'll get you over to her. She'll get you over to me, and you'll be live on the air with your boy. If you're listening via Blog Talk Radio, simply dial area code 323-870-4375. That is the call-in number. 323-870-4375 is your call-in number. If you want to email the show, you can email the show. It's the TTLO show@TTLOmedia.net. You can email the show again. It's the TTLO show@TTLOmedia.net is how you can find us there. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do that as well. You can tweet the show. You can tweet the show at TTLO Radio. That's right. You can tweet the show at TTLO Radio. That's 2 T's, 1 L, 1 O. TTLO Radio is where you can tweet the show. If you want to follow us on the gram, follow us on Instagram. Same thing on IG, TTLO Radio. TTLO Radio, 2 T's, 1 L, 1 O. TTLO Radio is where you can find us there. If you want to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TTLO Radio, facebook.com/TTLO Radio is where you can find us there. And then, of course, the live streams are up and running. I see folks coming on in. The live streams are up and running. You can find us right now on Facebook Live. Facebook Live, we are there live right now. We're actually live on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Facebook pages right now. We're live on 5 pages right now. My page, my personal page, Latanya's page, my public profile page, the Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church page, and the Taking Limits Off Radio page. And we're also live on YouTube as well right now. So y'all come on in, holler at your boy, and see what's going on. Don't forget, too, we are an iHeartRadio partner, which means you can find us on the iHeartRadio app. Really, Angela? You can find us on the iHeartRadio app. Just do a simple search for the TTLO Media Group on the iHeartRadio app. And when you get there, not only will you find the TTLO radio show, you'll also find Healthy Soul Talk with Dr. Kimberly Thomas. That's right, Healthy Soul Talk with Dr. Kimberly Thomas. Real talk, real issues, real solutions. You can find all of her previous shows there. And I guarantee you, if you listen to any of her shows, you'll find something that will help you or somebody that you might know needs some help. It's the Healthy Soul Talk show. And then there's my brother, the good pastor, Harold D. Washington, has a show called The Kitchen Chronicles. That's right, The Kitchen Chronicles. I think he's been on hiatus because he got a brand new restaurant he's trying to get ready. But The Kitchen Chronicles is normally on every Tuesday, somewhere around 7:15, 7:30. You can catch my brother, Pastor Harold Washington, and the Faith Works and Vision with The Kitchen Chronicles, feeding your spirit, your body, and your soul all the time. And last but not least, how do we start off our week? We start off our week with worship. That's right. Every Sunday. Oh, Lord, I'm tired already. Every Sunday, you can catch the live stream right here from the birthplace of gospel music from the Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church. Join Senior Pastor Darrell in person and the Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church family right here on the TTLO Media Group Network. Every Sunday morning, we start at 11 o'clock. We don't start late. We start at 11 o'clock. Be there, be there, be there. But as soon as we're done, that's not it, because as soon as we're done, you can catch the Faith Works and Vision virtual broadcast with my brother, Senior Pastor Harold D. Washington. You can catch their live stream as well right here on the TTLO Media Group Network. Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you can download a podcast, you can find us there. Oh, Lord, I was good by not saying that no more, but I forgot how it is. Anyway, y'all, look, we are live. Let me say hello. First, Angela, I'm going to let you do the introductions because I only know one name, and that was the one that came in first. I done forgot everybody else's. So I'm going to let you do some introductions starting from, first of all, hi to you. Let me give you some microphone.
How you doing?
I'm good. Good to see
How's
you.
everything? It's good to see you as well.
Everything is well. Good to have you in studio. It's been a minute since you've been in these parts
In
over
these
here.
parts, I'm so blessed to be here, though.
Okay, well, that's good. Good
And
to
I'm
see
at
you.
home because I know the place. Come on here.
It's good to see you.
Yes, yes.
And how you been?
I've been good. You know, been a little shaken, you know, in my last couple of, since last year. But God has been faithful to me. And he's never left me nor forsaken me. And I'm really not just saying that as a cliche. I really do believe that with all of my being, that God will keep you if you want to be kept.
Amen. Do us a favor, y'all. For those of you watching on YouTube and Facebook, go ahead and hit that share button real quick. If you have not already shared the post or shared this stream, share it real quick. Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Go ahead, share this out real quick. And I forgot about the handful of folks on Twitch, which I don't even know. We on Twitch, but I don't use Twitch, but we on Twitch. So there it is.
That's good.
So y'all come on and hit the share button as well. So you've been busy though.
I've been busy. God has kept me busy.
Okay, you've been
Because we
busy.
started this work probably about, if I got it right, and Veranda will let you all know, probably about between 15 and 18 months ago. I don't know why 18 is ringing in my head, but it probably has been lesser.
They're
Probably
shaking
been
their heads at the 15 to 18.
Yes, about 15 months ago, the Lord enabled us to start the work at the beginning of the pandemic. Actually, Dana, right at the beginning, a little bit at the top of that, the Lord told me that he wanted me to start a group called Gone Girls. And, you know, come on, girls. We use that cliche all the time. Gone, girl. We don't care what it is, honey. She could get her nails done right. Or make sure she got her toes done righteously. Come on here. And we're going to tell her, gone, girl. And so for your great accomplishments, your small exploits, we've always said, gone, girl. And so we started that group with the founders for Melissa Walker, Latanya Huron, myself, and Lisa Freeney, all from the aviation field where I work.
Okay.
And then the Lord said, I want you all to write. It, of course, Gone Girl is a place for all women empowerment, but also a place where women have a safe space where they can come and share what they are going through, what they've been through, and they don't have to worry about it being talked about.
Oh, okay.
You know, we're gonna talk about it in the group. We're gonna share it in the group, but that's where it's gonna stay, and we're gonna deal with it in the group. I said this too, Dana, that a lot of girls don't even know that at times they would slip and tell me stuff, and I would take those things and put them into teaching moments, and all of us would give our input, because just because I think that this way is necessarily right may not be right for Veranda or Yolanda or Bobby. I just introduced our folks over there on that couch.
Okay.
Absolutely. So
So
here we are.
So we're here, and you have this normally on Fridays, and I know people are, Fridays is normally
We
our
bumping it up.
Praise Break Friday.
Oh, come on here.
Situation. That's normally what we do on Fridays. Is Praise Break Friday, but we gonna kick it back a little different today. But however, that's not a bad thing. However, you have this amazing project that you are in here. Yeah, she holding up the book now, y'all. This book, and it's simply entitled "Gone Girl: 31-Day Mask Up Devotional."
Correct.
Why that title?
Because we wanted to kind of share a couple of things. And one of them was, I know a lot of people are saying, why mask up? Well, number one, because we were wearing masks. But the other thing is that masks are for two reasons. They can be for negative or for positive. Come on, masking up your hurt. Come on, masking up your disappointment. But how about masking up to protect? Come on, make sure you're not dealing with no foolishness. Make sure that you're staying. How about masking up to make sure that you're keeping your mind and your heart covered so that other little craziness don't come in. So we thought to use it in that way as well. But also the book, Dana, is, I don't know if you know this, but 23 women started out in the book, and only 21 women finished because 2 of the women passed away. One was Delonda Hamilton, so of course we honor her family, but also she didn't get a chance to write. But Lisa Boyd wrote about the cancer, and then the Lord called her home. So that was pretty devastating for all of us to have sat those Thursdays with her, and then she goes in the hospital and doesn't come back out. And so the Lord did the work. I am proud because, of course, this was my first curated, project directed. I executive published the book, and it was my first work. I was scared, but I know that the Lord said to do it, and so I kept going. And there were days when the women didn't want to write. And they will tell you they didn't want to write. And a couple of us went through divorce. I shared this recently on another show, Dana, and I said, I thought it was robbery that I was going through my own challenge and I didn't tell the girls. And so the Lord told me, you got to tell them. And so I went back and I sat with them one Thursday and I said, just so you all know.
The book was done by then, though, right?
The book, I believe, Veranda, was done then. I believe. Okay, so the book was done, yeah. And what people don't know is I actually wrote about Rob in the book. And prior to some of the things. And I didn't change up. I asked the Lord if he would let me, because I asked him at times, God, can I hold a grudge? And he tells me no. It is not representative of him. It doesn't represent heaven well. And so, no, you cannot. What you're going to do is you're going to push through. You're going to go through. And that's what we did.
Amen. Amen. So let's do this. Let's introduce the rest of the folks that's here. Look, she ready. She ready.
So of course you got on the right. You got
start from the left.
Okay, so
from your left, go to the right. That way.
On the left, of course, what people don't know is this is my bonus son, Robert McKinney's big sister, for real, his blood sister, and. Veranda don't fool with everybody. Yes, I'm telling this story everywhere I go. Veranda does not fool with everybody. And so just the mere fact that she wrote with me was a blessing. And I felt it was so authentically moved that she would do it. And so that is Veranda Williams on the left. And then right in the middle, you have Miss Bobby Wallace. I don't even remember how I met you, Wallace. All I know is that Bobby showed up at Gone Girl one Thursday. She did not talk at all. And by the end of the book, baby, she talking, preaching. We didn't even know she was a preacher at City of Praise. Yes, she is. She's a preacher. Bobby Wallace is in the middle. And then our girl is on the right. He gonna come back to y'all. And then my girl on the right, met her by happen chance, because Yolanda Carter wrote already. She had wrote already. And she is our advocate for domestic violence. You got on the right, none other than Yolanda Carter is in the house. Y'all welcome our Gone Girls in the room today.
So we got Yolanda Carter, Bobby, what's the middle last name? Wallace, and then
Veranda Williams.
Okay, so we only got one of these names on the list that Angela said was going to be here. Because if we could put people's names up on the thing, yeah, I'm looking at text right here. You ain't got to look over there. It's right there. So
no, I sent it to another. That's okay.
Because I'm trying to put people's names up on the screen. Yeah, it's all right. We all right, though. We get it together. We going to have it.
Where's the admin person?
Oh, God. So, anyway. Yeah, we got So let's delve into it. So what was you gave me the title. Anybody could jump in and answer. What was the goal of the book?
Oh my God. There were so many.
Okay. So
there are so many. And I believe each one of them will give you their rendition of it. But my goal was to make sure women had a voice. The Lord told me that, Angela, during the pandemic, because of what's getting ready to take place, women need a voice. They need a voice. So I thought that was pretty cool of God to give me that the job to do it, to be able to pull it off. And so the Lord enabled us to be able to do it. I'm always doing something.
I'm glad that wasn't the broadcast computer.
Oh, my God.
She done turned the computer off over there. I'm glad that ain't the one we live on.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord.
So, yes, each one of them will probably give you their own rendition of...
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in? What did you, as far as purpose of the book or the goal of the book, grab either mic, either one I'm on. You good?
The goal of the book for me was to have Pastor Angela not ask me to write no more.
Tell the truth, Bobby. Tell the truth,
And
Bobby.
the reason why
I know that
wrote
feeling.
was because she asked me to write, and I'm like, I don't want to write for you. I don't want to write for myself. I don't want people to know anything about me.
Uh,
Because I came in, my sister-in-law and her name LaShawn Waters, she wrote, and Crystal William Hayes, my friend, they invited me to the group one Thursday. And I'm like, I don't want to be bothered with these women. I don't even like y'all that well, so why would y'all invite me with women? But that was my mask I had on to
Understood.
protect myself.
Makes sense.
Because I went through so much, so I had to put the wall up to protect me, not knowing that as I was saying all that, God was already chipping to knock that wall down. And I am grateful.
That's good. Anybody else want to chime in?
Okay, I'll go next.
Go ahead.
It was truly just to remove the mask. It was just time. I'm very quiet. I don't like to talk a lot. I don't like to hang out with a lot of folk, and very siloed. And so God was just saying, you can't speak for me if that's how you're going to be. How are you going to speak to the masses if you can't even speak to the people? So you got to open up your voice, tell your story. You know, it's something I brought you through. And during that time, you know, I siloed off. I went in my deep shell, burrowed in, you know, because I was in pain. You know, I didn't know how to process the pain. I didn't even want to accept the fact that I was even in the pain.
Wow.
So I had a mask on, trying to act like everything was all right, everything was okay, to keep my children. I had 4 children, to keep my 4 children moving forward. Because, you know, when you go through a traumatic experience, everybody connected to you goes through that traumatic experience. And so here I am saying, Lord, how do I keep them motivated? How do I keep them focused? You know, he said, first you got to keep yourself focused, and first you got to remove your own mask. So if you won't tell it, then how can you help anyone? So my reason for doing it is just to kind of tell my story and invite women to tell their story. You don't have to experience anything alone that you go through. And I thank God for this group of women because they're very transparent. They're very transparent about what Bobby came out at the gate today. So they're very transparent about what they're going through, how they deal with it, and where they want to be. So that was my why.
Awesome.
Hello.
Go ahead. You get that mic works.
Oh.
It's on,
Okay,
baby.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
Okay. Well, my name is Yolanda Carter. I am one of the voices of domestic violence, a violent crime survivor, and I just wanted to, just let women, survivors, domestic violence, because being an advocate, it is amazing to be able to share and help other people through what you have experienced. I've experienced something that was so tragic and violent that you would never even imagine. And with my son, he had to witness it as well. So I just wanted my story to be told, and I wanted to empower other women in the group because, like they say, people don't know. They may know your name, but not your story. And if you have never seen a miracle, you are definitely looking at one.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Let's continue. So I wanted to ask, there are, you have I got the book, downloaded the book. There are some powerful conversations, I'll say it that way, that go on throughout the book. You have your own individual ones that you authored in the book, but then there are others that you didn't. But everything just kind of seems to flow from one to the next one. Let me ask you. You wrote where, and you can, if you want to talk about your particular section, and you can give us, whoever decides to answer, tell us the title of your section or whatever. But what was where did you draw from? I guess is the better question.
That's good.
Where did you draw from your particular section? You look like you ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one.
Okay.
So again, my name is Veranda Williams. And the section I wrote about was "It Almost Took Me Out," and that's where I pulled from. I pulled from the pain, I pulled from the lessons, and then I pulled from my relationship with God. At some point in your journey, God is going to test you. You can go to church 50 years, and if you've never been tested, then something is wrong, because he's going to test you. He wants to know, do you love him for real? When you're going through your valley, when you're going through your trouble, when you're going through your domestic abuse, when you're going through your cancer treatment, when you're going through losing a loved one, how much do you still love him? And so I pulled from there, and the questions was, how strong are you? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? You know, and I had some weaknesses going through this thing right here. And God showed me, you know, and when God shows you, you just kind of like, I don't even believe I was even that person. You know, I don't believe I was mean. I was contrite. You know, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to help nobody anymore. I didn't want to do anything because I was in pain. Well, that's not of God. You know, if you're going to reflect who God is, you still got to do it whether you like him or you don't. You still got to do it whether you love him or you don't. You still got to do it whether you feel like it or you don't. You know, a case in point is tonight. You know, life has hit us today. Life has hit these gone girls today, so powerfully so. Till the enemy don't even want you to get up and say nothing that glorifies God. So when you think about that and you think about your situation, I told him tonight I didn't want to be on video because I'm dealing with sinus issues. But then it's not about me and my sinus issues. It's about the story that God gave me to tell. So I had to tell it through my pain. My pain was I was wounded. I was rejected. I was hurt. I felt like I wanted to just give up. I felt like I wanted to drive off a cliff one day. I remember it like yesterday. I was driving along saying, God, why am I going through this? You know, I've loved you. I've worshiped you. I've prayed. You know, my sisters used to call me Sister Jesus. So if I got this connection with you, why do I got to go through this? You know, but he said, you got to go through just like my son Jesus had to go through. You know, he went through so bad that he had to say, Lord, why me? You know, let this pass from me. I was at that point. Let this pass from me. I don't want to deal with it. You know, but then he said, well, are you mine? Do you belong to me? Yes, God, I belong to you. So that was my cross to bear. That was my pain to go through, my traumatic experience to come through to tell someone else that they can make it through as well.
Now on top of all that, though, Dana, what I thought was so unique about this Veranda and my relationship is that I loved Veronica before the book. I believe she loved me before the book. We didn't talk all the time, but I was blessed to bless her Eastern Star group, probably last 7 straight years consecutive. But when I went through, she was the one I thought to reach out to because she had traveled through it and still, well, she's probably in a different phase of it now, while I'm still I'm trying to be in my next. Glory be to God, because that's what I preach. But I promise you, some days that enemy tries to hold me in my now. Isn't it something how you asked, I think you asked the question, you know, what has been our drawing card? My manuscript title is Say You Can, Say You Can't. Either way, you're right.
So and I want you to pause.
Okay.
Because I want to go back.
Okay, let's do it.
Only because I in your section, I had highlighted this statement, and I highlighted it because I think a lot of times Christians get this. You know, they say, well, you know, you saved, so you shouldn't have to go through all that. You saved. The God that you worship.
That's right.
You know, why are you going to thought? And so you wrote some.
You were saved.
Yeah, you thought you wrote some powerful words down, and a lot of times it's other Christians that say those comments to us. Because unsaved folk don't say that to us. Unsaved folk don't do us like that.
That's right.
So
that's another book.
I want to read this thing I highlighted from you. It says, this is your statement. It says, I've been a hoarder and a procrastinator. This means more than holding on to material possessions and moving slowly. I was holding on to pain, lies, rejection, abandonment, disappointment, deception, thoughts of suicide, and mental and physical abuse. That stuck out for me. And then I didn't highlight this part, but next thing you said, I was mentally exhausted. My life had to be drastically disrupted. That part, drastically disrupted.
He has to break you.
Yeah.
He has to mold you. We say that he is the potter. He's the potter, and we are the clay. But are we really allowing him to shape us?
Yeah.
Are we really allowing God to mold us? Or are we just okay with going to church every week? Are we just okay with just saying our prayer? Or are we just okay with singing in the choir? You know, as long as I'm singing in the choir or I'm at church every week, everything is fine. But when tragedy hits you? What happens when tragedy hits you?
Yeah.
In whatever shape or form that is, what happens? What do you rely on and what do you pull from at that point? Do you pull on the prayer? Do you pull on the Father or do you run? Do we pull on the alcohol, or do we pull on the drugs, or do we pull on everything but God? But we say that we love God, and we say that He is our being. He is everything to us. So this was my journey. This is what I had to deal with. This was the abandonment. You deal with being left alone. You deal with friendships breaking up. You deal with people taking sides. The church people take sides sometimes.
All day.
So they take sides. Then you deal with the persecution. You deal with people turning their backs on you. You deal with the lies. You deal with all of this among the same people that's supposed to be putting their arms around you, and that's supposed to be loving you, and that's supposed to be, okay, we know you're not perfect, but we love you anyway. We love you. No, baby, that don't happen in real life. In real life, you get the door shut. In real life, you get left alone.
Absolutely.
In real life, you become the leper. So you become the person they don't want to talk to or be seen with, because you're going through yours right now. So at what point do you say, okay, God, use me? At what point do you say, well, God, help me, cleanse my heart? I got to the point where I just said, God, I just don't feel this. I can't make it anymore.
I appreciate, and this is something that I think needs to happen more often. And it's not, I don't like to celebrate brokenness. That's not what it is. But I think we need to be and the word gets so overused, but we need to be transparent enough so that people can see that we go through too.
Enough.
But you're scared.
Absolutely.
You're scared because the minute you tell the truth about your situation, everybody got an opinion.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what, grandma used to say, opinions are like buttholes.
Everyone got one.
Everybody got one.
I gave y'all the clean version.
But I often wonder, Dana, why is it that, and you all tell me this, Tanya, and all the women in the room, I'm sorry, but why is it that when a marriage goes bad, a marriage is now being ripped apart? Why is it, y'all, that the church comes to the woman to find what you do? What happened? Like it was just you in the marriage. Come on. Didn't you know? Did you see the signs? So you don't think I was looking for the signs? Absolutely, positively. I was looking for the signs. And you cannot judge on the outside of nothing.
No.
You got to be in the inside of the thing. So you really don't know what happened. You don't know what was said. But why is it, I heard this, by the way, I have to say, from, who is it, Tina Campbell and her husband, whatever his, him, they were saying the same thing. Why is it that the church or the world too come to that woman? Why are we going to the woman as if the woman has been married by herself? Like it wasn't two who had that marriage going. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Very offensive.
That's part of the problem. The problem is it does take two. It takes two to make it, and it also takes two to break it.
Absolutely.
And people do not
Say that
understand
again.
that you
Say it
should
again.
not take a side when someone's going through divorce.
Never.
I don't care what you think you know. You never know what actually happened between that man and that woman.
People are people. Let's just be honest. People are people. Tanya can't answer none of these questions for y'all because this is the best marriage Tanya ever been in her whole life. So she can't answer none of these questions. Best one she ever been in her whole life because she married to me. So
Okay.
this is the best marriage she ever had, and she only been married once. That's how I can say that. So she,
That is good.
so she can't.
That's right.
She can't help y'all with none of
That's
this.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's
However, on this side over here, this is my third marriage. So I recognize that there's no such thing as perfect. But I do believe this though, and I've said this on this show millions of times. And I had a whole lot of preachers. I got into some, I ain't gonna say fights, but some confrontations in some seminary classes and all this stuff about marriage and God blessing and ordaining and all that kind of stuff. And I said this, and I truly believe it until I meet Jesus. He'll tell me different. I truly believe that every marriage that God ordained is still where it's supposed to be.
Okay, now that's another book.
Not right.
Because we enter things without
does
his
he want
blessing.
me to-
But
Exactly.
So you do have to acknowledge that.
Exactly,
You have to
because-
acknowledge that it wasn't his will from the
Because
beginning.
Because just think, you ain't even got to go. You ain't got to go nowhere. Just go back to the vows.
Yeah.
What God has
Joint.
put together.
let no man
That means
You
that
can
I can't
pause.
break
You
it.
can
What
pause.
God
That's right.
put together.
If God put it
That's right.
together,
That's right.
can't
No man.
can't
That's
nobody.
right. That's right.
Right? But
That's
if but if you said that's my boo,
That's right.
I love her,
That's right.
he love me, blah 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 blah.
This is
Now
kind
you
of,
telling the
And it's
truth.
difficult to understand that.
So
I don't.
or to receive
You really
to
do.
receive it.
You have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And you have to go back to the sign.
Yes.
You have to go back when God told you this was not the one, but you made it the one. So you were not in his divine will. You were now in his permissive will.
Come on, help
and
me
so
teach.
now,
Come on
when
now.
you realized that you were in his permissive will,
Yeah.
you was just kind of like, okay, God, I saw that, but I really wanted it so bad. You know, I really wanted these children so bad.
Yeah.
So he gave us his permissive
Yes.
will. And I do believe that marriage is 60, 70, 75. When you do it when God says
Yes.
do it. When God sends you that marriage.
Yes.
And so that unequally yoked thing
Yes.
is very
It's a real
real.
thing.
It's real.
It's a very real thing. So you can be unequally yoked
Mm-hmm.
and not realize it until a little bit down the line. But you always knew it before you got married.
That's
You
good.
knew it. You just didn't want to accept it.
That's good. That's good. All right. I just wanted to go because that was a big part of your piece for me, and I appreciate you sharing that. All right. So let's keep going. So you jumped in with yours, but I'm not doing yours right now. So she tried to come in quick with hers.
I got a little full, as the old folks
Is that
say.
what it was?
Yeah, I guess.
Can we go to Miss Bobby? Is that okay?
That's fine
Is
with
Miss
me.
Bobby okay? Can I say that, Miss
Yes.
Bobby? Okay, good. All right, because I'm gonna remember what I'm remember. I'm 52, so I can't remember nothing. That's my excuse. They looking at me like what? But anyway, let's talk about yours. Let's talk about your devotional, because I heard you say some words and some stuff in your introduction earlier.
Mine was from nasty to nice.
Yes.
And that was because I was pulling from that little girl that was on the inside of me, who never had a voice. Because I was told coming up, what happens in my house stays in my house.
Yes. Yes.
So when my mother would come home drunk with her male friends, and they would do things that they had no business doing to a 9-year-old, 10-year-old little girl, I couldn't tell nobody because she tell me what happens in here stays in here. And I couldn't tell her because what could she do? She's in the next room. She's drunk. That's my feelings on it.
Yeah.
But she tell me today, you should have told me. And I had to tell my mom, how can I tell you something when you drunk? And that took me down a road of 36-year addiction because that little girl held on to that pain and didn't know how to release it. I went to the church. I tried to get into the church. And then I got into the church, and then the church people said this and that and that and that because of my testimony. And because of my husband's testimony. And that threw me. I said, I'd rather be out in the street than back in here with you all because all of y'all hypocrites. So I went back to the street.
That's all right.
When you deal with that type of pain,
Jesus.
and then you get more pain on top of it, and not just that pain, I've been through every form of abuse that a woman or a man could go through that should never been through it. I mean, the physical abuse, the mental abuse, the verbal abuse. I've been abused physically by my mama and my husband. I've been verbally abused by everyone I met, whether they was in church or not, because of my testimony. But when I got to the point 4 years ago that I told God, I'd rather die than live the life that I'm living. And I took some pills to try to kill myself for the umpteen times. I couldn't count because I lost count of how many times I tried. So when I woke up in the hospital, and I knew my husband took me to the hospital, I was mad at him. Don't talk to me. And I told them people, they said, we finna let you go home. I said, if you let me go home, I'm going to be back. But next time I'm coming in the body bag for real because I'm going to do it right next time. I said, unless you all give me some help. I had 5 kids, 1 grandbaby. My 32-year-old daughter saw me through my mess, saw me through my addiction. I lost my kids in my own house.
Wow.
So when I started, when Pastor Angela asked me to write, who gonna want to hear from me? I don't want to write. That's why I tell people, I don't want to write. I don't want nobody, no. That shield came up. I don't even want you to know what I came through. That's why when I came in the meeting, I just shut up and listen. Because a lot of times we do a lot of talking and less listening. And if you would listen to a person, you would learn something from them. So I just decided I don't want to talk no more. I don't want to give a testimony no more. I'm going to just sit here and just listen.
You mentioned what happened with you as a child, and I was waiting to hear some stuff. And you said you tried going to church and being around some supposedly saved folks. And I shouldn't say supposedly saved, because they say you can be saved and still be messed up. And you said something at the end, and I want to read a part that I highlighted, but you said something at the end about nobody would want to hear it. They might not want to hear it, but they need to hear it. There's a difference.
That's what I learned.
There's a difference, because it's like I don't want to eat healthy food, but I need to, right? It's so, and there is a need, because there are people, especially dealing with abuse, regardless of the age.
Yes.
Child abuse, physical abuse, adult, mental, physical, sexual, whatever it might be. In the church, unfortunately, and especially in the black church, it is that whole what happens at church stays in church, that mentality. Because I heard what you said, what happens at home stays at home. And unfortunately, and I wish, and I've talked about it, and one day, and I said this before, years ago, the Catholic Church took their hit from all of the abuse of boys and maybe some little girls too. Most of we heard about boys, but we heard about that in the Catholic Church. And I said the Catholic Church took the hit because the Catholic Church got a whole lot of money. Black churches ain't got no whole lot of money. There's no conglomerate to go after. There's no large organization to go after, because if there was, more people would come forward. There's nobody to tell other than the pastor of the church. You can't go to the National Baptist Institute and tell them that something happened to you at this place. You can't go to the head of the Methodist, whatever, and tell them that something happened at this place, and they'll come and investigate, because it does not, they want to keep it under the rug. And so, yes, people do need to hear those stories. Now, it didn't happen at church. That's great. But people do need to hear it, because somebody in church might be going through that and might be afraid that or has been told already that don't take this outside of here. Let the deacons handle it. Let the trustees handle it. Let those people handle it. I want to get a call-in number. 323-870-4375. 323-870-4375 is the call-in number. If you guys don't want to make any comments or questions, I see people popping up in the chat. Angela, like you want to say something before I read her thing. Go ahead.
No, I didn't. I just wanted to make sure that you would slow down a little bit, because you said they're really, really fast.
I know. That's what, the phone number?
Yes,
she going to put it on the screen. They'll see it in a minute. They'll be all right. They'll see it on the screen. I talk fast. That's what I do. See, that is right there.
But isn't it something though how the very place that we should be able to be free in is sometimes, not all churches, but sometimes the very place that I hide. Because what's going on is that I can't tell nobody that the deacon has been saying inappropriate things to me, because, they think, well, why are you wearing those provocative clothes? I remember showing up to church with the choir director with a sheer blouse on, and a blonde tail down the back of my head, because I would cut all my hair off and it would grow back so quick. And then I would have on a leather skirt directing the choir. Nobody told me nothing. It wasn't that the mothers weren't concerned, Dana. That was my style, and that's just how I was doing it. But had the right person talked to me, I would have backed on, because I didn't want them looking at me like that. But because we so it's inappropriate to so many different levels, but because the deacons and the trustees are the ones coming at us, come on here, then that means that why would I be able to come and talk about abuse to anybody
But that's
at the church?
That's the lie that's put up front, that, well, if you weren't wearing, if you didn't have on,
That's
if
right.
you didn't do this,
That's
if you didn't do that, then
I
that
was
wouldn't have
being
happened.
cool.
And that's the way of passing the blame,
Absolutely.
because that and it's victim shaming or victim blaming,
good. What a way
because
to put
nobody deserves anything based off of what they're wearing, based off of, I don't care if it was too tight, I don't care how much it was see-through.
Come on.
It is what it is. You control yourself, sir.
You know what my testimony is today, though?
Come on.
Old men give you worms.
Okay, I don't know what that is. So confused.
Any women in the room? Any women in the back row just heard what I said? I said, "Old men give you worms."
I don't know what that is. I don't know. Anyway,
Tell your daughter that, man. Tell old men give you worms. Come on.
let me read this part from Miss Bobby's thing that I highlighted here.
Yes.
This is at the very end of your thing, and I love this because it puts some, because you actually shared more here than you did in the book, and I appreciate that. But let me put the cap on. This is what you wrote. You says, "I know that my spiritual life needs nurturing because it determines my character and perspective. It shapes the way I relate to the world and those around me. I have discovered that before I could move on to create personal success and growth, I had to first understand the value of feeding my spirit with meaning and purpose." That part.
Powerful.
That's because I wasn't brought up with meaning and purpose.
Yeah. Talk about that.
So by me not being brought up in church, when I came to church, see, my sister-in-law introduced me to church. My husband tried to, but I told him, "You out here sleeping with me, you can't tell me nothing about a church."
Wow.
But when my sister-in-law began to live and I began to watch her, and I began to say, "What is it that you got?" Well, one thing she didn't tell me is that everybody ain't saved in church. So I walked in church blind. I'm thinking everybody in church saved. Everybody gonna, welcome me in, and I'm gonna be free. And that was a lie. When I got there, I realized that everybody in the church ain't saved. I got hurt in the church, and on top of my hurt I already had, I got the church hurt. So I went back out to what I was familiar with. I didn't stick around to try to go and say maybe another church to be better. I say all churches are hypocrites. So what I had to do, I had to begin to ask God, what is it for me? And the last time, like I said, when I was in that hospital, I had to do a search for myself, and I told God, I need you to show me you. Nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't want to see nobody else.
Yeah.
I want to see you.
Yeah.
You have to come see about me, because if you don't, I'm not going to make it. And when I told God that, he showed me him. He said, from this day forward, you would not pick up another cigarette. You would not pick up another crack cocaine bag. You would not pick up another beer, alcohol, beverage, anything from this day forward. And from that day forward, he said, but what I am finna put in your mouth, I finna put my words in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I was too scared
before
Pastor Angela asked me to write the book to even speak on it. I was just holding in for myself because I couldn't, how can I say that? I could not share because every time I thought about sharing, I hear my mom's voice.
Saying.
So my mom got mad at me when I first got into all of this. See, I started off Above and Beyond Family Recovery Center.
Okay.
And they had asked me could they do a story on me? And I told them that I got high with my mother and I drank with my father. So I had to separate myself from my mom them for a minute. So my mom got mad and say, how could she say that? I say, Mom, I got to tell the truth whether you like it or not. And that's what happened. I got high with you for over 20-some years. I say, but now I'm coming to you and tell you that I don't want anything when I could come to your house and sit at your table and tell you I love you and I forgive you.
Yeah.
No matter what. And she looked at me. I said, I could come to you now. But at first I couldn't, because she was wondering why I was staying away. I was staying away because God was breaking me. He was breaking me in the midst of him breaking me and me writing this book. I had a major surgery on my neck. I was in a car accident. They had to do a spine surgery. And I'm like, God, okay, what's this about? So I say, nope, I'm still going to sit here. By the end of the book, I had another major surgery on my back.
Wow.
In the midst of that, my daughter tried to kill herself. In the midst of that, it was just trials and trials coming. And I told God, I said, no matter what the devil throw, I'm finna hit these knees and I'm standing right where you got me at.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. And in the midst of it, I was deciding, is I'm going to stay with this man or not.
Wow.
And I told Pastor Andrews, not knowing that she was going through what she was going through, I texted her one day and say, I want to leave. And she said, stop saying what you want to do. What is you going to do? And when she said that, and I thought about it, I said, God, look, I've been with this man 40 years. I say, what he did is worse than the physical abuse that we did, because I trusted you. And you broke my trust. Now, God, you done got me to the point where you first are the all. I say, I understand now. I understand. I had him up there.
Yeah.
And I had him up there because I trusted him, only him. I say, but you had to show me that, hey, I could only trust God. Put all of your trust in me, he said. And that's what I began to do. And as I began to do that, I began to open up a little bit more. I began to share a little bit more. I formed a women's help out at Above and Beyond, or a women's group called Women for Sobriety.
Okay.
I helped facilitate that class. So I'm just trying to do a lot now to tell people my story, not just my story, but his story in the midst of it.
Your testimony lets you know that what you were told was a lie. Yeah, that what you were told and how you were told to respond was a lie. I literally just said this a week or two ago, whenever last time I preached. And I was talking about a lot of times people have a problem with the messenger. They have a problem with who is bringing the message. But I said this. I said, sometimes it takes, who better can talk to an addict than a former addict?
Yes.
That's the truth.
Who better can talk to somebody who was living whatever kind of life than that person who was living that kind of life? Because see, if you've been on your high horse and for all your life, you can't understand what somebody else has been through. So God can and does use. And it's not about you. The Bible has you have a million examples
In the Word.
in the Word. So who better to tell these stories than somebody who's been through and has come out on the other side and who's still growing in the process?
Yes.
Like you said, you didn't want to write this. You didn't want to have nothing to do with it. But you're probably helping somebody right now just because they heard it. Somebody that might not even know this book existed. We're talking about the book Gone Girl, 31-day mask up devotional today. She got the picture. Ain't got to hold the book up. But I am, again, it's a, here's the thing about it. It's a woman's devotional, but it's just like the Bible. I did it like this in my reading through it. It's just like the Bible. Just insert your name. That's all you got to do.
Insert our name.
Insert your name. When it says when certain part about a certain man, I just say me.
Come on, yeah.
When they say a certain one, I still say me.
Come on, I still say
whatever it is. When they say 10 lepers, I put myself in the mix.
Come on,
It don't.
come on.
You have to put so it doesn't matter who it was intended for, right?
Right.
It's who can use it.
Come on
See,
here.
because
Come
my
on.
prayer was as we was writing it, and I would pray it every day as I was, because I struggled writing the little piece I wrote. I struggled with that, but I told God, I say, let not it be just for women,
Yeah.
but men's too.
Yeah.
I say, because men's are holding out, they are quiet, they don't want to tell nobody that they've been abused. They don't want to tell nobody that they've been physically and sexually abused because men's don't tell.
Right.
I say, but God, let this break the men's. Whatever you need to break in them, let them break them too. Not just for women. Because women, and what I got out of this is not just the title from nasty to nice.
Right.
Or not just Pastor Angela asking me. I got 21 women who I consider now my sisters.
That's good. That's good.
I don't consider
good.
them friends anymore or
Yeah.
enemies anymore.
Yeah.
Or I can't talk to them because if I can't call one, I could call the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel in my heart. And it took a long time for me to get to this point because I didn't trust women.
Understood.
But I love these women like I love my
Love
other
her.
sisters.
We love her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. We are, it's Praise Break Friday, y'all. It's about 8:30. We having a good conversation about this book. I have 4 of the 22 authors, 4 of the 22 authors in the room with me right now. The book is Gone Girl, 31 Mask Up Devotional. They are sharing some of their powerful stories. I just want to get to some of the comments in the chat real quick. A bunch of praise the Lords in here. Dr. Sabrina Davis, y'all know who that is?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and then Sabrina Roosevelt got some stuff. She hollering, Bobby, go for it. You got it. Regina Sykes, one of the our regular listeners and member here at Ebenezer, she knows about the Above and Beyond place. She says, yes, Above and Beyond is an amazing place for change. Yeah. She says it's an amazing place for change. Go ahead, yeah,
Once
please.
you walk through that, when I
Yes.
walked through that door of Above and Beyond, and I just felt love in there. And I took my grandbaby with me for 6 months straight, Monday through Friday, because I told them I would not miss a day.
Wow.
And I did.
Wow.
And anytime I could take my grandbaby and sit him on the side of me, and I could sit there and listen, because I was the same way with Above and Beyond as I was with Pastor Angela. I didn't say nothing.
Wow.
But there is an amazing place.
Amen. Look, the calling number again is 323-870-4375. That's a calling number. If you are on the line, if you want to be a part of the show, push 1. That'll let us know you want to actually come on and say something. Push 1. Let us know you come on and you can talk or ask your question or make your comment. So if you push 1, that'll let my producer know, because I do see some people on the line. But if you don't push 1, that won't get you in the queue. So if you're listening via the phone line right now, just push 1, and my producer will let me know. And then you can be, okay, now they just push 1. All right, so I'm going, what'd you say, 4 what? Oh, it's only 1. You see a bunch of numbers? Okay, yeah, I only see the 1 right now. I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. The first 3 numbers of your phone is 800. I want to let you in. Give us your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to see the right now. I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. The first 3 numbers of your phone is 800.
Can you turn your radio or computer down?
And where you calling from? Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you turn your radio or your computer down? Because it's loud in the background. I'm getting a lot of echo.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine now. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you fine. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you guys.
Well,
I can't hear anybody.
I can hear you,
Should
sir.
I try to call back?
No, we can hear you just fine. We all hear you. I'm not sure why you're not hearing us, but we hear you just fine, sir.
Oh, now I can hear. I just turned it up. Listen to me.
Okay,
I want to reference a couple of scriptures.
go ahead. What's your name, sir?
I want to talk to
What's your name, sir?
to our sister's pain,
What's your name,
to
sir?
her experience. Okay, so Isaiah 50, because I don't know who can relate to that pain. I can't hear you, Dana.
Okay.
I can't hear nothing you saying.
This must be Brother Tory. Okay. Because he said he can't hear nothing I'm saying. But go ahead, man. Brother Tory, come on with your scripture, sir. You good. Come on.
This is Brother Tory. You
Right.
got it
Hey,
right.
Brother
Listen to
Tory.
me, man.
Come on with your scripture.
Listen.
I got you.
Isaiah 53.
Okay.
I want to reference that because sister went to the church. I went to the church. Jesus is the church. To the church, Isaiah 53:3 says this. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief, and we hid as it were our faces from him, and he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Sister, you've been through a lot, but our Savior been through a lot more. Not that he did anything, nor did you do anything. But he took on the sins of the world. And I want to reference what he said when he took it on, when he was bruised, when he was hurt. Luke 23:34.
Come on.
Luke 23:34. I want to read this. Luke 23:34 says this. It says, then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. He said, forgive them. Now, the last thing I want to say, sis, is this. In Matthew 6:12, we pray the Lord's Prayer. And it says, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. If we forgive, we get our power back. If we don't, we empower others to continue to hurt us and for us to be hurt.
Yeah.
It's power in forgiveness. That's all I got.
Bless you, Brother Tory. Appreciate you, man. Bless you, man. All right. Thank you so much. R.A. Tory, always listening in on the TTLO radio show. He's one of our faithful listeners, man. He's always listening in. Before we, you look like you was ready to say something. You did.
No, forgiveness is so important, but not only for the other person. Sometimes you have to forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, because you make mistakes too, and you're human. And so you can forgive them all day long, but until you forgive yourself, you're still not entirely free. So you made those decisions. You have to own up to it.
Yeah.
I made those decisions.
Yeah.
And so in making those decisions, now I forgive myself for making those decisions so that I can be healed, so that I can be whole. But forgiveness is so very key to your healing.
Absolutely. I want to address something because I think I heard the word twice, church hurt, since we've been in here. And I used to use the term a lot too, to church hurt. And then God woke me up one night. He was like, okay, I'm going to need you to stop blaming the church.
Absolutely.
Because it ain't the church.
It's the people.
It's the people. I know we are the church. We're supposed to be the church, but it ain't the church.
That's right.
It ain't the church. God said, don't put that on my church.
That's right.
It's my people. But it ain't my church. There's a difference. And so we have to be careful. There were people at the church that did you some hurt. Come on, grab the mic. You finna say something. Come on.
I did say that wrong because
No, it's okay.
it wasn't the whole church.
Right.
That's right.
It was some people at that church. It was some people at the other church. But then coming from where I came from, I'm looking for an excuse. See, I could tell my story and I could own up to it. So every time somebody put a little pen too deep in, I was running.
Yeah.
And they was doing it. They was doing some of the good things at some of the churches. They was loving on me. And they was sister and sister. And I say, I got to run. So it wasn't always just like Veronda said, I had to admit my part
That's
in
right.
it. I can't just say blindfold like I didn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong because I was looking for a reason. And when I found that little reason, I ran to deal with what I was familiar with. But like I say, but when God get in it,
Yeah.
and when Jesus saved you, sanctify you, and fill you with his precious Holy Ghost, just like he told me you would never touch it again, it's over. It's done. He did it. And every day I wake up with joy.
That's good.
My kids see the difference.
Yeah.
I got a relationship with my 32-year-old daughter now that I wouldn't have if I wouldn't have. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on.
The problem is we are looking for validation.
That's it.
We are looking for them to give us something that only God can give us.
That's it.
And so if we never had that expectation from them, we would never be hurt. Because they're not supposed to give us healing. They're not supposed to make us whole. We do have a pastor. I have a very good pastor. You're supposed to take it to him. You're supposed to have discernment of who you're talking to anyway.
Absolutely.
You pray and say, God, give me the discernment to talk to this person or to talk to that person. You can't talk to everybody because what we said in the very beginning, everybody that come to church ain't saved. So, of course, they going to go gossip. Of course, they want to know the next story. They want to be all in your business. So you have to ask God for discernment, and you have to know who to share your story with. And remember, they are not to validate you. That validation comes from God.
I think that the biggest cut, the biggest slice that I could have ever probably experienced and now I understand a little bit better now, though, Dana, is that the scripture is true when it says, cursed are you if you put your faith in flesh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
But when I tell y'all that thing has never been so real, because now I'll tell a woman at the end of the day, and this is no point intended to the brother I was married with for 27 years now, right? But I will tell any woman, if you smart, you better go get you a prenup if you got 20 cents in the bank, okay? Go get your look, because you cursed if you put your faith in flesh. And so that let me know that people, why would we give, I don't know, y'all, we got to probably work that out, right? Why we would give a person that much authority, that much control
That's what human.
over our flesh, that they're able to almost send you to another world because they move differently. I'm wondering, I don't know about y'all, but I'm in a point in my life now where I'm trying to figure out now, God, how do I stay so faithful to you that never happens again? And I wonder, too, women in the room, and you, Dana, I wonder, is that, am I putting up the wall too tall now? You know what I mean? Am I, you know what I'm saying? Because
Well, we learned that in grammar school. That's
Right.
why it comes from peer pressure.
Come on.
You know, you got to be liked. You want to be liked.
You wanna
You
be.
know, you want everybody to accept you. You want so you learn it, and then you never learn a different behavior. We're in a time now where we got to unlearn some of the stuff that we learned.
Preach that.
You
in
know,
the
we're
room.
50 years old and we're unlearning some things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one of them is you don't have to be accepted. You don't even have to be liked.
Do you
what
hear
you
me?
do have to be is love.
Love.
And so now that's an entirely different thing. And when you start to love yourself, you don't care who
This
like
is
you or
so
who don't
true.
like you.
Huh? I'm not stepping down, but I'm stepping aside. Huh? That's my testimony now. I know how to treat we got to treat ourselves a little differently.
Well, I learned that I love it too, Pastor Angela, when I was talking to you about my relationship with my husband. I learned that, hey, before I even could say I love him, I had to love me. So I had to learn how to love me, then to learn how to love him all over again, because we both was in our mess. We said we loved each other in our mess, but we didn't know what love really was until we got to God got in the midst of it. Now God in the midst of it, I have to figure out now, how can I love this man who some days I wake up and say, I don't even like you, but I can still, because I made a vow.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I finna run from this vow, God, or is I'm going to let you do what you finna do in this marriage. And that's what I did.
That's good.
That's good.
Good.
Let's keep it going because sister been over there real quiet. She been real quiet. She said, "I'm just gonna wait my turn." Miss Carter, is that right? Miss Carter's there. Help us with you. I love this because I want to see I want to hear what you're gonna say first before I get to the point that I highlighted. Beauty for my ashes.
Yes, that's my insert, beauty for my ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why I named that beauty for my ashes is because a lot of times, I'm going to say because it was me.
She got it all. It's fine. We hear her fine.
I didn't look like what I've been through. If you're looking at someone that has been mangled, deformed, disfigured, and 13 reconstructive surgeries, and how God can repair you and turn you into something as beautiful as a butterfly. So I use beauty for my ashes because I know that God can do all things but fail us. And he can turn your pain to purpose. You know, this is a very difficult situation for me, but listening to the other ladies, women, it just, it really gets me so emotional because, a lot of us have a lot of real stories. And when I tell you my story not only just my story reached a lot of media attention, national, a lot of major platforms. Domestic violence, I'm going to say domestic violence is real.
Absolutely.
A lot of times what we do, we turn a blind eye to it. We make excuses for bad behaviors. We suffer because of the sake of love. Is it that do we love a person or do we lust for?
Wow.
And a lot of things, when I can tell you that my first encounter of domestic violence, I was at the age of 19 and didn't really know what domestic violence was because my thing was just physical. I believed that it was physical. Never knew that it was a cycle of abuse. I never knew that there was different forms of abuse because I just thought it was just someone just physically putting their hands on you. But when I realized that after the fact of a really traumatic experience that almost took me out of here, it almost took me from my family. It took me to a whole nother level. After seeking counseling, sharing my story was one of the best things that I could have ever done. Because not only sharing my story, helping me, it's helping so many other people, women, men. In domestic violence, one thing I want to say is that it is not just a woman's thing.
No.
Domestic violence, it can be your family against your family. Men go through it. And just because it's underreported does not mean it's not happening. I didn't think that I was really in a domestic violence relationship because he was very charming. The guys, and not only that, I've been in, after realizing this one major situation, I realized that I was in every relationship that I've been in, it had some form of domestic violence abuse. It didn't have to be physical, but I realized from the mental, the emotional, the verbal, the gaslighting, the love bombing, and the controlling spirit. I felt that that's still not enough. because I wasn't physically abused. So when you are not going through the physical, you still think that, oh, it's okay. You know, we can get past this. It's nothing, you know, it's okay. You know, I was everything but the child of God. My belongings was thrown down the alley. I'll be, you know, sometimes that they would not talk to me days at a time. You know, disrespect my children. I went through a lot, but I still had compassion for my abuser. And that's one thing we do. We have compassion and we feel bad for our abuser, even though they are hurting us. Because one thing you have to know is that hurt people hurts people.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we don't realize what that past hurt was, what that trauma they had to go through, even watching it growing up. And a lot of things we say, oh, these kids are so bad, but we don't know what these children are going through. Mm-hmm. We don't know what the abuse they are seeing, what type of things that they really have to, the traumatic things that they really have to go through. So it's important for us to really pay attention. We need to look at the red flags and the warning signs, because one thing I could tell you is that the writing was on the wall, but I dismissed it. I didn't want to look at it as if that was what it really was. The person can come clothed as, your knight in shining armor. Mm-hmm. They come as a representative or an imposter, I say. Mm-hmm. They give you everything that you want and think of, make you feel so beautiful. They groom you to get you to trust them, to make you feel so like, I got you. Don't worry about it. And I did that. I was that same person because I was like, oh, no, I'm not in a domestic violence relationship because he's not physically putting his hands on me. But guess what? I was. Anyone that's going through any type of verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, that emotional scar will hurt for the rest of your life. You cannot move. A lot of times, sometimes I used to feel you could just slap me. But no, but that's not what I'm saying, that somebody slapped me. Right. Emotional, those words that come out.
They hurt more.
That hurts so much more than you just feel, because what you can do is, one thing is that you can cover that scar up. Yeah. You can put a Band-Aid on that scar, but that emotional scar, you can't take that back. That's something that is with you. It's embedded.
Can I ask you, I'm trying to think of I'll just ask. Where did, no, the question is, when you were younger, was there a male figure around, father, to give you,
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
And you know what? Good you asked that question, because a lot of people ask me, Yolanda, why do you go get into those type of relationships? Mm-hmm. No, I had my father. Is my father still alive? I have one of the best fathers in the world. Okay. He was very strict. Mm-hmm. He put us in private school. Mm-hmm. He done everything. My mom didn't have to work. Mm-hmm. He was a very good provider. We lived good. We had everything that we wanted. My father he was amazing and still amazing. Mm-hmm. If I call him right now, Daddy, I need you to pick me up, he would be on his way. Mm-hmm. So, no, I didn't have any. I never watched any abuse growing up. Wow. I never watched. I didn't know, because it was like foreign to me when it started happening to me. And when it started happening to me, I was like, wow, how could this happen? Why? And then start being afraid, because, when a person could tell you, don't go nowhere, take that off, or who you looking at, I could be looking in the next car. Oh, that person. And, all of a sudden you just, start getting abused. And I started hating myself for a long time. And then it seemed like if I'm getting in one relationship, I'm getting out of that one, and then I get into another one. But it was just like, it wasn't all bad. They are not all bad, but it's just, there are some dysfunctions. in a relationship, but we just didn't know. I didn't know it because I didn't know. I wasn't educated on what domestic abuse was. But if I was educated on it, I would have known. Like right now, today, to me, everything is abuse, and I don't want to say everything is abuse because that's my
it's
problem.
a trigger for you. It's
that's
a trigger for you.
Me right now because people want to know, Yolanda, how can you date or are you dating after that very traumatic experience? The question is, well, yes, I am seeing someone. I am, to be honest, I am, but I always have my guards up.
Absolutely.
I would not let my guards down. And they tell me all the time, well, you treat me bad. Why do you always treat me like that? I got your best interests at heart. But I said, I have zero tolerance for foolishness. I don't want to, I can't seem like if you say something, you want me to be okay with it. I can't be okay with something that I know that I just can't do it. When you say, well, why don't you just be quiet sometime and just let me say, and you say it's okay. I can't say it's okay when I know I'm not okay with it. It really get up under my skin, so I cannot. But I just wanted to become an advocate for domestic violence abuse. I wanted women to know that there is a safe place. There is a safety plan that you can create. I want them to know that they're not alone. They can have options, and they know that they can have someone that they can go to in confidentiality to talk to when needed. Because one thing I could say is that a lot of things that we don't have now is trauma recovery centers. We don't have places that we can go to when we in. And then the first thing, I'm on subcommittees for domestic violence. And a lot of times what the people always say, well, we don't like to call the police no way because they be on the other side. They side with the person instead of the victim, and then we end up going to jail, or it turns, or anger will make a person just, get so angry, and then it escalate. But they have to be able to be trained to know how to deal with domestic violence. I am so honored today because God gave me a second chance at life. I lost so much, but I gained so much more. I lost my left eye during my attack. But I know that one thing I can say for sure is that it got me so much closer to God. I know I straddled the fence so many times. I did what Yolanda wanted to do. But then I had to realize, I said, God, if it was not for you, every night I had my Bible laying on the side of my bed every night. God shield me. God shield me from the pain of that traumatic experience. But I know one thing. I know someone else is going through domestic violence. And I have speak to so many women. People done call me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning crying. And I know I am necessary because it is important for me to be able to help them through it, whatever they're going through. Because I know it is so difficult. It's difficult for me having PTSD, being very traumatized, and going to court. They have to look at this person. They have to, just listen to their voice, and that voice just triggers. I have so many triggers that I was so afraid of everything. I was afraid of people. We had to relocate. I had to move in places because I will not move in areas or places where I have to fear that I have to listen to somebody else going through it. And I've listened to that before, and it was so hard.
We have a question, and I don't know if she tried to call in, but I'm going to ask her questions because she put in the chat. Dr. Sabrina L. Davis says, Ms. Yolanda, what are the initial, if you can answer, what are the initial signs of emotional abuse that people should look out for from the onset?
Well, the emotional abuse, because a lot of it starts off, if it starts off very subtle. The emotional part, it can be just a little simple, you know, you stupid, you ugly, you should be glad that you with somebody like me. You shouldn't, you know, it's just the emotion, it just start affecting your mental, making you feel belittled, feel like you're not good enough, telling you things that, you know, he wants you to believe that only, you know, for him, and telling you to, isolating you from your friends, family, and loved ones. Don't want nobody else to get in your mind or your head to tell you what's right. And, you know, I know that it is a cycle, and it goes in levels. It's levels of the abuse, and the emotional one is the one that you're feeling. You're hurt. Your heart hurt. You can't eat. You can't sleep. You start feeling, because God will give you that spirit to make you feel like if something is not right, you will start feeling it, because it's attacking your emotions. And when it attacks your emotions, that's when it's like, I need to start reevaluating situations and start changing things. But a lot of times we get so deep into it where we just got so deep that we lose ourselves. What do we do is we lose ourselves because we try to make other people happy. We suffer to make others happy. And I know that it was times when I was like trying to, you know, we always try to keep the peace. We try to always make you, you know, just to keep things down. We want to keep it all together. We just suck it all in. We won't say nothing. We would just say, you know what, I'm not.
Straighten that mic up a little bit for me. So talk into it.
We're not going to say anything. Yes, a lot of times we won't say anything. We try to just keep everything to ourselves. And I know that I'm not the only person that did this, because for a long time I didn't know I had a voice. I didn't know I had a voice. I didn't know that I could say that you hurt me. I didn't know that I could say that, why are you treating me like this? What, you know, can we do to rectify this? It was just like I was just going along with it just to get along.
See, you're and just for those of you listening right now, and if you're listening on online or wherever you're listening, Blog Talk Radio or whatever, or iHeartRadio, we just wanted to put up, because we are talking about this, and I would be remiss by not giving the number out for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The number is 800-799. It just went off my computer. That's okay, I got it. It's 800-799. 7233, 800-799-7233. That's the number if you're going through, if you know somebody that's going through. That is the national number. There are also local numbers, but that is the national number. I want to give this to comment. Regina says, we have to stop having superficial conversations and take the time to really listen to people. Check in on your friends. Check in on your friends.
I think it's more important for us to have a lot of conversations rallying around domestic violence. I was one of the first persons to do one of the COVID-19 domestic violence segments with Sarah Schultz on Channel 7 News. And we did that because the numbers had risen up so high.
Yeah, because people were at home and they couldn't get away from them.
And one thing I could say is that what it is that a lot of times we in passing with one another. No one ever had to sit still with that person to really get to know who you are. Because a lot of times we love you. Oh, you been in passing. Right. Oh, I love your dirty shoes, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, we never get to know each other. We in passing every day. We come home, we go to work, and it's just every day. We never get a chance to get to know you. And now when I look at you and I see something I don't like, I be like, ooh, I didn't know you was doing that. Because we in the house a lot. We seeing so much that we didn't like before. So it's time we start looking at all the negatives, but they were negative before. But because of we love you, we want to smile and keep everything together. We look at like, oh man, this is what I got to deal with. I don't want to deal with this, And then they start getting in defense mode because a person don't want you to even be honest with you. They rather for you to keep lying to them than telling the truth because the truth hurts. But I'd rather be transparent and tell you the truth, what it really is. And now I know that I have a voice and I could tell you, oh, I don't like the way you make me feel. I don't like what you did to me. And, something just recently happened and I was pondering on it and it started making me feel some type of way.
Yeah.
And I was feeling so bad about it. And they was just like, just going on like everything is cool. And because one thing I could tell you, a person that don't like to apologize, they would just rather just keep on going and like nothing ever happened. Let's forget about what happened. Oh, you still harboring over that? Well, I thought we went past that. No, you never apologize. And that's my thing. For a person, if you hurt me, I cannot just keep going over this. I need you to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You did me wrong, and I need to let you know you did me wrong.
You before we move on, I want to read a comment and then I want to go to something else. Brother Tory, who had called in earlier, put up the comment. All right, Tory. He says, "Sister, you're now displaying an excellent, beautiful spirit, and you are here talking about God and the signs to help others not experience the pain that you experience. Your test has become your testimony and an encouragement to make all aware that will listen." That's from Ari Tory. I wanted to, I applaud you because I'm listening to your story. That's why I asked you about there was a reason that I asked you about who was around you when you were young, because I'm in education. So I work at a school and I have to deal with kids who are coming from all types of different situations. And one of the things that is something that, and I think I talked about it briefly on here, but I didn't talk about it too much because I have to guard my words so I can't tell stuff and try not to say names and stuff like that. But I had a young lady who we do these parent teacher conferences and all that kind of stuff. Ours are set up a little different. And the way ours are set up is that the child leads the conference. The child says, this is why I'm ready to go to the next grade. And this is why I'm ready to do this and this. So I had the opportunity to listen in on a child that wasn't in my class, but it was somebody else's. And her mom, her parent, was berating her. And then another student, the mom and the sister was berating her. And I'm saying to myself, this is going to be a young lady who is not receiving. And this is a little girl used to always be like, Dr. King, give me a hug, give me a hug. And I'm like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. Because the plan, not knowing that she is not receiving any type of love at all at home. I witnessed that, right? And I witnessed the sister berating the child. And I said to myself, it hit me. I said, that's going to be the little girl who the first time some little knucklehead come and decides to be nice to her, she going to go fall for it because nobody's been nice to her. And so then and then if he decides to take it a step further and put his hands on her, she going to be like, but he loved me. But he talks to me nice. He takes me to nice places. He buys me stuff. And some part of her brain is going to say, it's okay.
Absolutely.
Because at least he don't do me like they do me. Because they never gave me no kind of love.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's here.
He's here.
He's here. Come on.
And that's part of my testimony.
Yeah.
Because I was the black sheep of my family. I'm the middle child. I got 3 under me and 3 above me, and I always was in the middle. And my mother, they never really recognized me. I couldn't tell her what I wanted to tell her, what was going on with me. And then I found out it was going on with the 2 youngest girls. And I was like, you what? And I was like, man. But when I met my husband at the age of 11, and he say, I like you. I say, I don't like you. But I did. Because why? He said I was pretty. You're a pretty black girl. I say, thank you. And I went for him. Just thank God that I'm still with him. we had our trials and tribulations, but I did that when you just spoke that. When the first person, young man, to say, I like you, I fell for him.
Wow.
You do. You know, my father was not in my home. My mother raised us, and with the help of my grandparents. And so drug abuse was prevalent in my home. So we didn't get that type of, you know, you get the daddy-daughter talks, and you get the daddy, this is the one you date, and this is how you look for him. This is how you should be treated. I didn't get that. Now, later, in my later years, towards my adult years, my grandfather stood in. And then he said, well, I'm going to teach you. You know, so I thank God for my grandparents standing in the gap for my parents. And so you do navigate to the one that's giving you the gifts. You navigate to the one that says, oh, this is a pretty girl. You know, you navigate to that one. And so then you stay in that relationship, even if it's abusive, even if it's verbally abusive, even if it's emotionally abusive. You stay in that relationship because you didn't have that in your home.
No. I'm just, I can't help but to get blessed by everything that they've said, because these women, Gone Girls, I believe I don't even know how to say it. There's a little part of me in every last one of them, a little part of me. And it's so amazing because these women, what you all are experiencing tonight is what we experience on a day-to-day. We engage all day. Even when I'm at work, these women are in
I
the
have to
groups.
turn the phone off.
Okay.
They is up at 6:30 in the morning.
They're engaging, Dana, and that is no
Angela
lie.
will run your phone now. She will run your phone up.
No, but I'm working in aviation, so it's a little different. But you know what? And let's just be honest. This book, I believe, the reason why you guys are hearing so much amazing authenticity is because this book really was a big deal. It really was a big deal. And I told you all at the beginning of the show that there were times when Latanya's not here with us today. She had a death in her family. But Latanya would send me notes going through a divorce saying, I do not want to write today. I don't care what you're saying. I say, I know you want to cuss me out, but guess what? That's too bad. You're going to write. How about this? One of the things I want to throw at you all tonight is, if you've never experienced your brother murdering your son, go get the book. I told her, I know that you're hurting. I cannot relate, but I cannot let you stop writing. So what are we going? I said, you just got to beat me up if you have to in your mental. But I'm telling you, I know that God wants you to write. And she thanked me in the end and said, I'm going to finish. And every woman, including the ones that are in this room with us tonight, y'all, finished strong. We didn't want to do it, but the Lord gave us the wherewithal. He gave us the wisdom in what to write, how to write, when to write it. Man, look here. Nobody knew. I'm sitting in the beauty shop saying, God, how do I write now? The women are finished, Dana, and I'm sitting in the beauty shop, and the Lord gave me the whole manuscript sitting in the beauty shop because I just thought about it. Say you can't. Either way you write, here's what I got before me. And the Lord had us to do it. And so we're finishing strong.
The book is 30 Gone Girl, 31 Days Mask Up Devotional is the book. It is available on, and Angela, we're going to get to your part. It is available on all outlets right now. It is on Amazon. It is digital. There's some paperback versions. I just saw that it's even at Target. So, y'all know that? Y'all didn't know that?
No, we didn't know. We knew Walmart.
I just said
and Barnes and Noble.
It said Target on my screen.
Oh my God! Big brother Dana just
It's at Target. It said Target on my screen. So it's at Target. But you can get the book. It is. I'm about to put the link in here for the Amazon. Y'all can order it from Amazon. I just want to put the link in the chat box for all y'all, wherever y'all might be watching or listening or viewing or whatever. So there's a link for that. And I'll get the Target one, drop it in there too. It is very enlightening. That's not the word. Refreshing that I want to use that for you all to share your stories and your testimonies in a way And I appreciate the fact that even in your worst moments, yeah, even in your worst moments, what could have broke you didn't. And I want to go back because I want to get to your this is the part that I highlighted from you, Miss Carter. You said all I knew, and this thing blessed me. You said all I knew was that I wanted to live. This is after everything. After all this, I'm now starting to recover and rebuild my life. I had to go through therapy to learn how to cope and live my new normal without being ashamed or embarrassed. I'm not giving up. I speak my truth to help others. My God I serve didn't bring me this far to leave me. No matter what you're going through, always know that your life is valuable. That and that's the part. Your life is valuable. Nobody can place value or less value on you than you. You dictate your value. And I want you to be that. And I think there's some people, there's some women, there's some men, there's some young boys, some young girls somewhere needs to always know that their life is valuable. You look like you want to say something. Come on.
Yeah, I do. Because I know how much a lot of us, we don't think that we are necessary.
Yeah.
We are necessary. It's important for us to know that we matter. So many of us didn't know we mattered. So many of us didn't, no one ever gave us a chance to make us feel like we're wanted or matter. That's why I want these young, I gear towards everyone, victim, survivor of domestic violence abuse. I want all the children to know because it's important. They have to learn growing up. This is something they need to know about. Domestic violence has been around for a long, long time, but the education is not there. No one is really sitting down giving us the telltale signs, the warning signs and red flags about what domestic violence really looks like. Mm-hmm. You know, and how much it impacts not only the victim, it impacts everyone. Mm-hmm. It's just like they say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to give you the information, the telltale signs, so you will know what to get in so that you will not fall victim of that situation. Or even if you do, you at least be informed and know, and you'll be able to try to get out of it before it get too far in. You know, yeah. It's so easy to get in, but it's so much harder to get out.
Yeah.
And no matter what people, why are you with that person? Oh, you can just leave. No, it is not that easy. When I tell you that leaving does not equal safety. It does not all the time equal safety because it is so dangerous when you are trying to get out of the situation. And never tell your abuser that you're leaving. That's one thing
Absolutely.
You never do. I don't care how mad you are, because a lot of times we will say, oh, that's why I'm leaving you. That's why, we angry. And a lot of times we speak on emotions. We talk and we say things to try to hurt them, but not knowing that we're about to get hurt. We're hurting ourselves. So we have to make better choices. We have to know that we have to be responsible, how we allow people to treat us, and just celebrate yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm celebrating Yolanda today. I am so proud of who I have become because I could have very well just shut down. Mm-hmm. I could have very well sat down and said, you know what, I'm mad at the world. I don't want to talk to people. I want people to leave me alone. But my goal, my mission is to help others. I'm started a non-for-profit. It's about to be set up soon. It's called Beautifully Scarred. That is what my non-for-profit is. And it is, no matter what you have gone through, it's not just a woman's thing. Beautifully Scarred, you can go through anything, but you are beautifully scarred.
Amen.
No matter what.
I love it. I love it. We're here and we have about 10 good minutes of airtime left. So Angela, you kind of cheated because you jumped in on some of your stuff early, and that's okay. So I left some time, and when I say airtime, that's airtime on the radio side, and it got nothing to do with the live stream and all that kind of stuff. But I do want to let you get to say you can, say you can't. Either way, you're right. Help me with that title.
You know, it's amazing because when I thought about it, Dana, I thought about how, and this is in the forward of the manuscript. I thought about an enemy's job is to make us feel like we're not winners. We're not going to win. We're defeated, especially if he can show me what my current situation is. Then he believes he got me. But I promise you that if we learn, look, and I tell you, this has taken probably years of marinating. That's what I call it. To be put in a situation and now have to use what you've been preaching about. Come on, because preaching ain't convenient. It's ministry. And so, of course, to be put in a situation where you now have to rely on what you've been taught through Sunday school, rely on what's been shoved down your throat in church and otherwise. Now I had to rely on it because I don't know if I told you this, but I can remember last November after going through this huge devastation, writing a book, the whole nine, and now I'm stuck with say you can, say you can't, either way you're right. So what that said to me was either I could die or I can get up and go and live. And I decided one day after God put me in the headlock, because he knows me better than anybody, after I told him, I tell you what you do. You can have this preaching thing. I'm going to live for you. I'm going to walk in your word, but I'm not going to ever preach ever again because it's evident to me that evidently what I've been preaching has been a whole lie. So I'm done with that. And the Lord woke me up on a Sunday. Can you believe it? On a church day, we call it, right? Put me in the headlock and say, daughter, because you don't run nothing, here's what we're going to do. Either you do what I tell you to do or you will die. Y'all do know that God does kill. He will kill you, right? And so I got up from there and I said, okay, God, after going to counseling is a friend. After going to counseling, the counselor then fires me, Dana, and she says, you don't need me anymore because you just need to get up and move forward. And so part of my say you can't, either way you're right is getting up, moving forward, deciding that today I am going to live and not die.
Wow. So with and I know your situation because you and I have talked offline and all of that. There is and you had a lot of stuff. Most of the stuff in here I kind of already knew, so I didn't have to read too much of it. But I guess my question for you is, being in ministry and being a ministry leader. Sometimes I know there's difficulty, especially when you have to be there for everybody else. And a lot of times there is no room for your issues. There's no room for your drama. And I thought about that is because we don't make room. And you mentioned preaching and teaching and all that kind of stuff. We have to, one of the things that, and this is to help anybody that's in leadership, we have to make room for the humanity in us to have its time.
That's another book.
We have to make room
for the humanity.
God just gave me that. We have to make room for the humanity in us to have its time. Because, and the reason I say that is because I know, and again, this is the whole thing about, well, God, you saved and this, that, and you this, and Jesus did this. And I think about it. I always go back to the Garden of Gethsemane. I go back there all the time because I said, if Jesus can have a moment of humanity.
Come on. Why can't
I
we?
wish somebody would just help me right there. If Jesus could have a moment of humanity and he was God in flesh, but if he could say, wait a minute now, look, because I can we find some other way to do this? Because I don't really want to go through this.
Can you
right. Now let's put it in the real version. I ain't trying to go through that.
You know that's how me and God was talking, right?
Right.
You do know that.
Especially when I know what's coming.
Come on. Come on.
And I've already seen it.
That's right.
So look, how about we find another option?
That's right.
Because that's the way we talk to God.
That's right.
But see, the problem is we don't share those conversations with people.
They don't. It's the trust level. They don't. It's the trust factor.
Yeah.
You want to share it, but it's the trust factor.
But we have to share it anyway.
Yeah.
Because here is the deal. Even though you may talk about me like a dog, right? I still have to show you my scars and my wounds.
Totally.
Because you might have those same scars and wounds. And me showing you my scars and my wounds might be the light for you.
Come on.
Come on now. That watch this. That might be the very light that lets me know.
Yeah.
That you know what, the way I've been talking about you ain't right.
Yeah.
Because I'm evil toward you.
That's right.
Because of what I go through at home.
Or what I've been through.
Or what I've been through. And because I won't let anybody in.
Come on.
Because I built up all these walls. So I don't care how nice you are to me. I can't stand you no way.
Right.
But let's give it a layman's term, though.
Come on.
The layman's term is making sure that I am self-caring for me. So you know what I had to do, Dana? I had to say to some of my so-called preaching deep friends who love going there, I don't need you as a preacher today.
Right.
I don't need the apostle.
Right.
I don't need, I have the gift of prophecy and will walk in the office if God give me that. Come on. I don't need none of that. What I need you to do is I need you to let me please process this the way that I process it. And maybe the way I process it won't be favorable to the world, but it's going to help me. And so I'm not going to get indignant. I promise you I won't do that. But let me self-care for Angela, meaning there's probably going to be some days, and there was, where I did not come out of the room other than to go to work. The people at my job, Dana, would ask the question, Angela, how could you show up for work every day? I say, well, it's taking Jesus. But I promise you, come on, he's the one that's doing it. He's already, and I hate to get all deep with people, but the only thing I'm going to tell y'all is this right here, is that if you really, look, for those of you all who think being in ministry is so popular and so beautiful all the time, you better get ready to drink from the cup that I drink. But you can't drink from the cup that I drink from because it's my cup, right? But I'm telling you, ministry is not about convenience. It's about some ugliness. It's about standing in the mirror saying, God, it's me today. Y'all remember that song? It's me, it's me, it's me, oh Lord, standing in, it's not my brother, not my father, but it's me. So to have to say to yourself, Dana, self-care is the name of the ball game. You have to come up with a way to make sure that you're caring for yourself.
We have a caller on the line. Thank you. I wasn't paying attention to my. She was over there throwing the airplane signals. I missed it all. We have a caller, last caller tonight too. Caller, let's see, 983 is the first three numbers. 983. Caller, are you there? Hello, caller, are you there? Mic check. Caller, are you there? You are live if you are there. If you say something, we'll hear you. Your phone might be muted.
I am here. Hi, Dana.
There you go. Hi, who is this?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Why everybody can't hear me? And I know they can hear me. But I can hear you just fine. Yes. Say your name. Go ahead and make your comment, your statement. Come on.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you.
We can hear you. Everybody, the world hears
Praise
you.
God. Hi, Dana. What an intriguing show. Pastor Angela, I love you. Ladies, I love you. Gong.
You went away. If you're still there. I don't know if your phone.
Gone Girl should be a school curriculum. This is a very powerful conversation that I hope will be replayed on numerous platforms because people are not
Hello?
And we really need to continue to be transparent. Let's continue this conversation. I love the book. It's very powerful. And let's continue to spread this message throughout the world. I'm so happy to see that the book is in Target now. We need to continue this conversation in the church. We need to continue this conversation in government. We need to continue this conversation in our families, in our very own homes. It's been a missing piece for so many years. And I am so happy that you have had the courage and you have had the wisdom in listening to the Holy Spirit to bring this to the forefront. Great job. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you, Dr. Sabrina.
Oh, that's what that is. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Sabrina. Yeah, she a real doctor.
Thank you. Medical?
No, same.
I thought that's what you meant.
School,
Okay, sorry.
yeah,
Got you.
PhD in that
Right.
field.
She did.
Educational field.
Absolutely.
But she wrote a book called Unleashed and Unafraid. And of course, I did the prayer in that book, Unleashed and Unafraid, Ponytail Prayers, Unleashed and Unafraid, Volume 3. And I did the prayers on media. So that was my first authorship, so to speak.
Okay.
And so this has been my first, again, project directed book. And we've had an amazing time writing it.
Well, I'm gonna give brother Tory's statement. He says the sequel to the book should be Healed Women.
Wow. Wow.
See, he done named
I
it.
am he.
The healed woman.
Brother Tory, I got a song for you. By the wound in his side. No.
Look at you. You done went real Baptist.
Okay,
See?
I didn't win.
Look, this has been, I again, thank you so much, Angela, for even pushing this, because I had honestly forgot about it. I had to do some quick speed reading, but that's how I got through school. So I read enough of it though.
Yes, you did.
But it is, thank you so much for one. It's a powerful book. I would tell bros, look, buy it for your wife, buy it for your boo, get you a copy. I think the conversation needs to continue outside of this. I agree with Dr. Sabrina, is that who called in?
Yeah.
It does need to be, the conversation needs to continue. Sister Carter said it needs to continue. We need to have more conversations about this. It can't just be we often only see the tragic side of it.
Absolutely.
We never get this side. And I think this side is what helps people. When we constantly only get bombarded with another woman was abused, another child was abused, and we get those in the number all the time, right? It's a number we can't even count. It's like the shootings on the weekend in Chicago. We only see that side. We never see, well, what happened and what was the outcome? How did you make it? And then it's the how did you make it? This is the one thing. This is the one time where we use this statement a lot. We never want to see how the sausage is made. But this is the time we do need to see
how the sausage
we
is
do
made.
need to see how you got through the process.
Absolutely.
We need to see how you're getting through the process.
Can I throw this in there
Go ahead.
too, Dr. Daney, which is, just so you all know, this is not a church book.
No.
This book was not written to the church. We have scriptures that are forerunning every manuscript title, but this book is not written to the church necessarily, but it's written to the masses. Whoever would open their hearts long enough to read one of the stories, I could promise you, when the books first came to the publisher, and I told her, when you're opening up the boxes, can you please do a live with me? I was coming underneath the tunnel at O'Hare, and when she was opening them, I'm like, Lord, look at this. And so I'm just, Lord, look at this with a face. But when I get to my car, it finally dawns on me, God did this thing. And he did it the way he wanted to do it, because there were days when we wanted to just say, it's done. I'm not doing this anymore. It's over. And the Lord let us continue and get the work done.
I want to go around for last words, so you can start now. Go.
So trauma affects everybody. Big, small, large, and tall. No matter black and brown, white, it affects everybody. I was in the bank and sold a book. to a Hispanic sister who was
Wow.
going through the same issues that we were going through as African American women. So it's not a book for African Americans or just women. This is something that everybody can apply to their lives. But here's what I'd like to say in my last words is be encouraged.
Yeah.
There is a rainbow at the end of your journey. And if you stick with it. Don't get so despairing. Don't get so depressed that you feel like you are alone. You are not alone. You have sisters out here. You have brothers out here who can help guide you through the process. Be strong. Trust in the Lord. Trust in yourself. Be strong to trust in you. Love you. You are valuable. You matter. So believe that you matter. Your presence matter, and you can overcome. And you'll be able to share your testimony.
I'm going to pass the mic. We can get last words. Whoever don't have it. Yeah.
All right. I just thank God for being here. I just want to tell the people out there that people don't know the pain that's in your praise. So don't stop praising them.
My.
And don't stop telling your story and give our God all the glory, because I wouldn't have been able to come out if it had not been for God bringing me through.
Amen. Go ahead, sister.
To God be the glory. And just pay attention, everyone.
Yeah.
You women know your worth, and don't settle for just anything what someone tells you. Watch the red flags and warning signs, because domestic violence does not have a face. It does not have a color. It does not have gender. So we have to know that we have to make better choices and love yourself. We have to love ourselves, and we have to be responsible for our own safety, ladies. And a lot of times I just look at, I said, Lord, I thank you, because what the devil meant for evil, you turned it around for my good.
Yeah.
And people be want to know who I am, because a lot of times people see me out and they want to know, who are you? I seen you on TV. I seen you on radio. I seen you on a lot of platforms. And all I can say, and my favorite thing is, Google me. I tell them all the time, I say, just Google me. And they Google me like, oh my God, I didn't know. Yes. But just keep run, keep the race going, and don't give up, because you are necessary and you matter. You know, sometimes, you know, when you do this so much, you start tripping up your words, start tripping up and everything. But at the end of the day, stay encouraged.
Amen. Angela, what you got?
Okay, so of course my final words are right from the cover of the book, which just says the Gone Girl 31 Day Mass Up Devotional is a devotional collaboration written by amazing women. But this is what I really want to hit tonight. Phenomenal, amazing women let you into their own stories, their own, sometimes even secrets, right? Unmovable, relentless, and determined were we, and the Lord gave us the victory.
Wow. I want to go back to, and then I'm gonna let y'all, whoever wants to close out in prayer, and then we're gonna get out of here. I want to go back to, I think it is Veranda's section. It almost took me out. That's the yeah. See, if I would have wrote it, I would have put, it should have took me out. That's mine, but it's
Almost
okay.
died in it.
That's right. I should have died in it.
Come on here.
See, truth be told.
But
That's
I
a different
didn't die in
conversation.
it.
Different
Come on here.
conversation. I want to go back to yours. You said, this is another part that I highlighted. It says, you said, always remember, you deserve more. You deserve to live, and you deserve to start again. Get up and start again. I know it will work for your good, because God's word promises it will. And then, of course, Romans 8:28. And we all know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. That's the one for me. We gonna get ready, and somebody wants to pray us out. If it's Angela or whoever, y'all want to do it, whatever, y'all figure that out. I'm gonna just sit back and drink my water.
Veranda is going to take us out.
Okay.
We thank you. We thank you for just being here today, God. We thank you for just bringing us together, God. We thank you that we are overcomers, God. We thank you that you have brought Angela to us, that we can bring our stories to the world and we can share them. We thank you for Dana opening up his platform, God, letting us share our stories. I thank you for my sister sitting here on the platform with me, God. Thank you for making us overcomers. Thank you for making us live Romans 8:28.
Yeah.
It worked for our good, Father God. though we were afflicted, it worked for our good, Father. You said many are the afflictions of the righteous, but we have overcome them all. So we trust you, God. We trust you, God, more today than we ever have, God. And if there's somebody listening right now, God, let them be encouraged. Let them know that you are a listening ear to them. Let them know that you hear their prayers. You hear their cries, God. Send them somebody to let them know that you're right there and you can bring them through as well, God. We thank you for today. We're praying for the sick and the shut in. We're praying for those that wanted to be here, God. We're praying for our sisters who are dealing with death and bereavement on tonight, God. We're praying for our sisters that are dealing with sickness on tonight, God,
Lord.
and could not be with us, Father. We want you to connect and touch everyone, God, in the mighty name of Jesus. And we thank you again to your glory, that everything that we do be to your glory, God. These and all blessings we ask in your darling son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Look, y'all, before I get out of here, I asked y'all to do this before. Y'all know, if y'all, church is open on Sunday and all that. If you come hang out with us this Sunday over here at the Ebenezer, it is our second annual now, because it's annual. You can say second annual after you had the first one. It's the second now annual block club party. So y'all come on over here, 4501 South Vincennes Avenue. We having a block club party right after service. So it's dressed down. So come as you are. Just if you got them little shorts on, leave them at home. But come as you are. And we having barbecue and the park. We have the tent out there. We after y'all get through holy dancing, we might do a little bus stop. Ain't no telling what might go on out here. But y'all come on, hang out with us Sunday, somewhere around, what time it start, Tanya? 1 o'clock, because we're going to be setting up early. So while we in church in here, we're going to be setting up stuff out here. The whole street going to be blocked off over here. And it's our second annual Summer Sizzle Bronzeville Picnic. I'm just changing the name because whatever it is. So y'all come hang out with us, and it's free. Y'all come on, hang out and eat and hang out with us. Bring your childrens and all that stuff. We're going to some little raffles and some giveaways and all that. We're going to get some. I think we might even have a gas card somewhere in there because gas ain't cheap. So come on over, hang out with us. That's this Sunday, July the 10th. At 1 o'clock when we get up out of here. All right, y'all. Look, y'all know the routine. Get the book. The book is available on Amazon, digital books, ebooks. All those places. It's Gone Girl 31-Day Mask Up Devotional.
Walmart.
It said Walmart, Target. They just found it out. Barnes and Noble. Digital. Y'all, I don't do real books. All my books are digital because I just, everything I own is digital. But look, you can grab it now. Get it. You will not be sorry. Check it out. All right, y'all, it's time to go. If you got to drive through this special city, the one we call Chicago, do me a favor, my brothers and my sisters, keep your head on a swivel. 2 T's, 1 L, 1 O, we out.
With your hands